At 42, I thought I was eating healthy, but I was actually underfueling my body by nearly 50% of what I needed each day. Turns out a lot of women over 40 are making the same mistake without even realizing it. It messes with your metabolism, makes it harder to burn fat, and keeps us from getting toned. So I'm changing my diet, getting more protein, eating smarter meals, and actually fueling my body the way it needs. And today I'll show you exactly how I'm doing it. Quick note. Everyone has different nutrition needs based on their health and their goals. I'm just sharing what I'm trying and learning from the amazing book by Dr. Stacy Sims, The Next Level. I'm still learning, and there will definitely be more videos on this topic very soon. Because on my channel, I like to try new things that help me feel and live better so that I can share with you in hopes that it'll help you too. If you've been working out, eating clean, and still not seeing results, you might not be eating enough protein either. And that is not on us, so please don't shame yourself, honey. We're just now starting to get research specifically for women in this stage of life. Big shout out yet again to Dr. Stacy Sims. In The Next Level, she shares that after menopause, the average women's deep belly fat increases by 44%. That's a big reason why women over 40 are 3 times more likely to develop high blood pressure, high blood sugar, and excess belly fat. The good news? We are not about magic pills or trending diets here on my channel. Lifting heavy, sprint interval training, and more protein could make a really big difference. And I recently figured out just how much protein I was probably taking in every day, and it averaged around 80 grams of protein, when in reality, I need about 145 grams of protein a day. In her book, Dr. Stacy Sims recommends that we need more protein, specifically because as we age, our bodies don't use protein efficiently. So if you're not eating enough protein, your already aging body that is already losing lean muscle mass will start breaking down more muscle than it is actually building. And less muscle means a slower metabolism, more fat gain, and less tone, muscle tone that is. So let's do something about it together. And if you don't think you have the energy to do that, more protein is definitely gonna help you have more energy. So instead of snacking a ton, like when I'm making dinner or when I'm making lunch or when I just feel like having a little something crunchy, and eating mainly carbs on my plate with like 1/5 of my plate being covered in protein, my new targets is 2 to 2 grams per kilogram of body weight of protein a day, which is around 1 gram of protein per pound that you weigh. Carbs and fat, which I am not weighing like I am protein because I know that's really where I need to focus. Need about 3 grams per kilograms of body weight of carbs a day, which comes out to roughly 1.3 grams per pound. And then fat, 1.2 per kilograms of body weight, or about 0.5 gram per pound of body weight. I'm currently using my scale that I used to only use for making sourdough bread and shipping packages, and I'm prioritizing breakfast specifically, trying to get between 30 and 40 grams of protein at breakfast right after training. Also, if you watch my most recent video about everything I was doing wrong about getting toned, I am not working out fasted, so I'm getting an additional 15 to 25 grams of protein before my workout. At lunch and dinner, I'm aiming for 30 to 35 grams of protein. I'm choosing fruits and vegetables as my main source of carbs, which is going to be better for blood sugar balance. I'm eating within 30 minutes of working out in the morning. This is gonna support blood pressure and reduce menopause symptoms, if you have them. If I have a snack, I'm gonna aim for that to be between 15 and 20 grams of protein. And because I tend to get in a rut with the vegetables that I eat, I tend to mainly focus on like spinach or peppers or carrots and broccoli. Dr. Sims talks about the importance of incorporating root veggies and cruciferous, that sounds better, vegetables to support hormone balance. And there's going to be a ton more info on that in her book. Before my workout, I've been doing about 15 grams of protein powder with almond milk or with water, just to have something quick on the go. I don't drink coffee. If I drink coffee, it's going to be decaf, and I have done it with cold decaf coffee. But for those of you that like to have your caffeine in the morning, Dr. Sims recommends having a protein coffee shake in the morning right before a workout. For breakfast, I typically do a combination of chicken sausage sausage or turkey bacon and either a morning smoothie with protein from hemp hearts or my Earthchimp protein powder that I'm currently using, and spinach and a little bit of fruit. Or I do some sort of combination of non-fat Greek yogurt, a little bit of granola, maybe some hemp hearts and blueberries. Or I have this really yummy recipe for a pancake protein bake that I found. I'm gonna include all of this in the description below. Whatever combination I decide on for that week or that day, I do make sure it's between 35 to 40 grams of protein. I am not stressing out if every single day it doesn't hit right at 40 grams of protein on the mark, because I feel like, yes, it's important and I am increasing my protein, but I'm not going to cause myself stress over it. For lunch, I'm typically gonna either have my new favorite chicken burgers, about 30 grams of protein in those. I have about 1.5 of those, or I'll have 4 ounces of chicken breast with a salad or sweet potatoes and a homemade cabbage slaw that I make that's vinegar based. That's gonna roughly equal about 35 grams of protein. And although I like to meal prep, like for example, this week we're gonna be going out of town. And so I had cabbage and sweet potatoes and red onions in the fridge and in the pantry. So I was like, let me just batch cook these for the next couple of days. That way I don't have to worry about making myself a bunch of meals or doing a bunch of meal prep. Pretty much just gonna eat the same thing for lunch before I leave for the trip. For dinner, I don't really have a thing I stick to at this moment. We don't really have the budget right now to be, or frankly, the time, the energy to be making 2 to 3 different dinners every night. So I will typically plan meals that work for me that aren't high carb based or cream based. And maybe my husband will grill out, or I will make burgers or salmon. And then I'll have some carb on the side for the kids and like a salad or veggies that I'll be sure to eat. I am at the moment working on creating more of a solid meal plan that I can come to each week or rotate items in and out. If that's something you would love to see down the road on my channel, be sure to let me know in the comments below. In 3 weeks, I have noticed several different things that have actually surprised me. I found that I've actually been full. Like, I don't always need a snack, which is pretty shocking because usually after I eat, when I wasn't eating enough protein, 2 hours later, I would be starving. I'm having less sugar cravings and less snackings because of that. This is a funny one and perhaps maybe TMI, but I was constipated at first. At first, it was way too much protein for me. Like when I started drinking protein smoothie mix again, I couldn't go to the bathroom for a day or two, but I lessened it and then slowly increased it and I've been okay. I think the trick is definitely not to eat the same thing for breakfast every day, or like if your body's not used to eating dairy like mine was, like I typically would maybe only have maybe a little bit of cheese a few times a month. Well, now I'm eating non-fat Greek yogurt again. And so I was worried that maybe my face would break out or I would never be able to go to the bathroom. But after a few days, things seem to balance out and I don't feel like it's affected my face or really affected anything else. I'm just being sure to incorporate fiber and plenty of fruits and vegetables in the remaining part of my day if I do start my day with something like Greek yogurt. My kids would laugh at this, but I absolutely think that I have been less hangry because I'm actually fueling my body, which is important if we want to be strong, right? And I'm craving less snacks at night. Now that doesn't mean that every single night and stop eating at least 3 hours before I go to sleep like Dr. Stacy recommends, but I have been craving snacks less. I will admit, if I do eat a snack, Purely Elizabeth, my gosh, I crave Purely Elizabeth granola all the time. But now, instead of eating it with a little bit of milk like I used to in the past, if I absolutely have to have it, I have it with a little bit of yogurt. That way it's paired with more protein than it used to in the past, and it'll be better for me overall. I love how Dr. Stace breaks down in her book, like when you eat enough protein, these are the things that happen in our bodies. First off, you're gonna maintain muscle and a faster metabolism. You reduce cravings and stabilize blood sugar. You support healthy blood pressure and fewer menopause symptoms if you have them. And you can finally start seeing the tone and the energy you have been working for. I really feel like this is exactly why I've been able to push harder in my workouts lately. Just yesterday, I bench pressed more than I ever have been, and I was able to do 4 sets of 6 and 8, which felt like a super huge win, and I didn't need anybody spotting me. And if you missed my last video on all the workout mistakes I was making, especially at the age of 40 and up, there's a link to that in the description below. Friends, this is just the beginning. We deserve to be strong. This is not about dieting. This is not necessarily about losing weight. This is about being stronger and doing the things we need to do for our age to be strong. And I'll admit, it is going to take some change. A lot of it is going to be up here mindset, right? Be done making excuses like, oh, I'm just going to be bulky, or I don't have the time, or that's too hard, or I don't have the weights, or I don't have a gym pass. You can push through any single one of those excuses if you choose to. So I'm challenging you today to choose to. Of course, it's always good to talk to your doctor or your personal trainer or whoever you turn to for that sort of advice. I am not a trainer or a doctor, but as a friend, I am challenging you to try something new because you deserve to feel strong. I'll be tracking my progress and sharing how this high protein plan evolves and works for me, including sharing the results from my body composition test that I'm going to be taking this month. If you want to see the full meal plan when I'm done working on it and get updates to this 6-month high protein, heavy lifting journey that I'm on, and honestly, I think it's probably going to be more of a lifetime thing than a 6-month thing, make sure you subscribe to my channel, join my newsletter, and stay tuned. And tell me in the comments, because that's where all the community happens in my channel. Is this something you're working on? Is this something you're potentially thinking about doing? Or maybe you've been doing it for a while and you want to share with us what's been working for you. I look forward to hearing you from the comments, and I'll see you next time. Bye. Ooh, one more thing before I go. I just signed up for the Hailey Happens and Dr. Stacy Sims collab workout program called Power Happens, and I'm doing the intermediate version. I am not starting this 12-week program until the end of April. Once I start that, I'm going to be sharing how that goes as well. If anybody's interested in joining me in that, I do have a 20% off link that I can share, so let me know. I can drop that below. But I'm super excited to do that, and I'm slightly scared because Dr. Sims is no joke. And if you look up Hailey Happens, her and Dr. Sims are both total BAs. They're totally buff and toned. And I'm like, my gosh, this might be really hard. So it's definitely going to be something new for me and definitely going to be a fun, maybe terrifying challenge. So I'll let you know how it goes and I'll report back.